Welkom terug by die groot ontbyt. Ek en Jennifer stoei nou. Ons gesels hier oor allerlei goeters.
Net gesels, nie stoei nie.
Ja. Verbal jousting, sê die Engelse. Maar ja. Die organisasie sonder winsbejag, Ladles of Love, is wraggies 'n merkwaardige organisasie. Ons het nou al voorheen gesels met Diliberto. Hy is die mynkonyn van Ladles of Love. En die werk wat hulle doen om kos te gee by mense in plekke wat ons nie altyd raak sien nie. En daai goeie werk. Ons gaan môre met Danny gesels oor 'n nuwe projek, die veldtog wat hulle loods, FeedTheFuture, waar hulle 8000 kinders en hulle onderwysers wil kos gee. 2 gesonde etes per dag. Dit is 'n merkwaardige klomp kos. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me again.
It is an absolute pleasure. I think it's our privilege to have someone like you on our show because you are really making a difference in the lives of average, ordinary human beings, and we need more of these organizations like Ladles of Love. So straight off the bat, thank you for what you're doing. It really means a lot to society as a whole.
That's emotional. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Danny, let's talk about this new project that you are launching, FeedTheFuture. Tell us more, please.
So, as you mentioned, we are currently feeding around 6,500 children a day. We want to up this to 8,000. And these are your little children from 1 to 6-year-olds in our early childhood development centers or preschool centers in the informal settlements. It is really important. I think what we forget is that food security is not the lack of access to food, but it's the access to nutritious food. And that's what's really important. We are driven to give nutritious food to our little kiddies because nutrition, you need to feed the body. Apart from food feeding the soul, it is important that the child receives the proper nutrition that it needs to grow, learn, and play as it should. So our Feed the Future campaign, we launched it late in November. And you know, this is an ongoing it's an ongoing challenge in our country. We have millions of children that don't have access to nutritious food. So it's a problem that's not going to go away anytime soon. And it's a problem we have to work on together. We cannot just wait on the government to sort this out because it's not going to happen. And we have to do this together. So we're encouraging people to sign up a debit order with us. 250 Rand provides a child 2 nutritious meals a day. It's a lot of vegetables, it's pilchards, it's rice, it's sump, it's lentils, it's pasta, it's all these good things that feed a child what it needs. And, you know, for 250 Rand a month, it's really not a lot of money. We're also calling on corporates to sponsor ECD. So give us a monthly donation that ensures that this ECD receives enough food. To give you an idea, I'm just guessing off the back of my head, to feed an ECD for a year, 50 children, you're looking at around 120,000 Rand a year. You know, for many corporates, that's not a lot of money, and you're ensuring that these children get proper nutrition. And what is so important is it's not only the nutrition that the children receive, it's what it does to the whole ECD as a whole. We've been speaking to the women, the principals of these ECDs, and the feedback we're getting is just phenomenal. The difference that they're seeing in the children, they're happier, they're more focused, they're more attentive. They want to come to school because they know they're getting a proper meal. And you know, and then what it's doing for the carers as well. As we said, we encourage the ECTs to feed their carers as well. They're more focused. They're more, motivated to do their work properly. So, you know, we don't realize the power of nutrition. We actually don't. I didn't until this year. We've been doing more qualitative research, and it's absolutely amazing the importance of good food.
It's mind-boggling to think how many kids in South Africa passed away this year because of malnutrition, and that was just in the news last year. And you kind of get shocked when you hear this because no child should ever be without food and nutritional food with that. And I'm so glad you mentioned the socio-economic circumstances surrounding schools, because that's very often where the problem lies when we look at education, especially the ECDs like you're referring to. It really is a social economic problem more than just a teaching problem that we have. Which areas are you guys in or focusing on?
Well, currently we're in the Cape Peninsula. We in Wellington all the way to Noordhoek and in between. We have 17 early childhood development centres in Gauteng, in Alex and Soweto and surroundings of Gauteng. And we've also got a little satellite station in the Northern Cape in a little town called Kuruman. We've got 5 early childhood development centres there. So we are supporting around 65 early childhood development centres so far.
6,000, more than 6,000 kids already per day. You want to lift it to 8,000. I mean, what you're referring to nutrition-wise, I mean, we heard a lot of things, especially now in the last couple of months with kids being poisoned by biscuits and snacks that they eat. But we really realize that those biscuits and snacks are the sum total of nutritious food that children are getting from a spaza shop. That is their breakfast, 2 or 3 100%. Biscuits for the day.
Yes.
That's horrific.
Yes.
Let's talk about the real nutritional value that kids are getting today. Why are we struggling to feed our children proper food?
You know, it's affordability. You know, when you talk about these biscuits and these crisps, and it's cheap. It fills that gap for a moment. It takes away that hunger pain for a moment. And you know, they also put in all these flavorings that I think you know, stimulate the brains to say, oh, this tastes nice, and it maybe takes away from the hunger pain. But it's affordability. Affordability is a problem. We are able to do it cheaply because, you know, we buy in bulk, and we work with suppliers, we work with farmers. So that is our biggest challenge, and we are able to give a whole variety of food that these early childhood development centres they're not able to buy it. They just don't have the money. The parents are paying 450 Rand a month to put their children in these ECDs, and these principals are supposed to feed a child 2 meals a day. How do you do that? You can't. And you know, also what I'm learning and what we're going to be doing next year, which I'm really excited, is I think there's also a lack of education about nutrition in the communities. I'm going to give you an example where in the communities they believe a fat child is a healthy child, and that a thin child is a hungry child. And that is so completely wrong, because a child can be skinny but is well fed. It's just in the genetics, or it's the parents, or it's a child that's growing quickly, whatever it is. And a fat child, I mean, malnutrition causes obesity, or eating all this junk causes obesity. So we need to also now start teaching this. We need to start teaching our principals the importance of nutrition, importance of giving vegetables every day, importance, because we do go and visit our beneficiaries, our ECDs, and sometimes we arrive and they're serving them a bit of rice or a bit of pap, and you're saying, like, where are the vegetables? And they don't realize the importance of this food. So next year this is also why we need the money as well, because spending money on education and teaching, and we're going to create accountability with our ECDs. They're going to have to report back to us, show us what they're cooking. So there's all this that needs to be done, because we need to uplift the ECDs as well. We need to teach our principles, because it's just a cultural thing, you know.
Yeah, it is.
And so the more education we can get in there, the more nutritious food we can pump into there. You know, we had an ECD that was going for 10 years before we started helping them. She had never served her children vegetables, ever.
That's scary.
You know? You know, so this is why it is so important that a program like this it works, because also we don't understand. We all quick to throw money into education, But you know what? If the education plan does not have a nutritional plan behind it, you are wasting
You're
money.
wasting your time. Yes,
You
yes.
need to do both. So either support both or find an organization that has
That
a
does.
proper nutritional plan.
Like Ladles of
that is
Love.
very
People
important.
can drop you an email at danny@ladlesoflove.org.za. As easy as that.
That's right.
Anyone, private people, if you're a company and you believe that you can make a difference. As jy as 'n gemeenskap of as 'n maatskappy of as 'n kerk of as 'n wat ook al besluit, jy wil 'n verskil maak buite jou groep en verwysingsraamwerk, buite jou gemeenskap, dalk is jy deel van die gemeenskappe. Stuur gerus 'n e-pos. Danny, dis met 2 N'e, danny@ladlesoflove.org.za of Google net Ladles of Love. Jy kan 'n bydrae maak en jy kan 'n verskil maak. Thank you so much, Danny, for joining us, and thank you for the
Thank
work
you.
that you are doing in people's lives, changing thousands of children's lives every day.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Nou ja, jy sien ons almal kan 'n verskil maak, so maklik soos dit. R250, dis al wat jy nodig het om te spandeer om 'n verskil in 'n kind se lewe te maak vir 'n maand. Nou ja.